Hi, my name is Amethyst11 and this is Ogham, Psychic Ogham reading number 798, and it is for my client with the initials NS. N for Nigeria, S for Spain. You asked me a couple of questions, and they were really around the future of your relationship and how that was going to impact on your life moving forward. So that's what we'll focus on for you, NS, in this reading. So let's start over here with this Ogham, and this Ogham stave is gorse or on, and this is in the position that themes all of your reading. Now this stave is very much about living life day to day. It's about not being in the position where you can plan for the future. It's you treading water in effect, and feeling stuck in the position that you're currently in without having the ability to make not just physical changes, I guess, around you, but stepping out of the emotional prison that you've placed yourself in, so that you can't even make emotional changes. So we'll pick up on that a little bit more as we go forward too. Now we'll spend a little bit of time over here, but we'll spend the majority of our time here where the answers to your questions are, but I'll contextualize it over here. This is the past 12 months or so, and this is themed with this Ogham stave here, which is you or I'll. Now, this is very much about a change and transition, but it's about changes and decisions that you've made yourself. Most notably, of course, is your realisation that your relationship is not as supportive of you as you need it to be, and that you've come to the decision that there needs to be change, but you just haven't taken that step further yet about change. Underneath that, we have Dewar or Oak, and this is about tenacity. This is about hanging on, partly for you because it's it's a bit of a case of better the devil you know kind of thing. So it's the fear factor, not being able to move out of where you are right now emotionally and physically, because you're just afraid of where that's going. And also I keep sensing as well that you still have a sense of loyalty to your current partner. That you do tend to be quite loyal, and that you keep going and you keep going and you keep going, and you've given it a go as much as you possibly can. This Ogham stave that's sitting over the top of that is Older or Fien. This is about giving and receiving advice. It's about listening to your intuition, and you've started to do that a lot more in this current year, particularly around what it is that you know you need to do in order to get some emotional happiness. This Ogham stave in the middle here is Willow or Sail, and this is about this is in the position of currency, by the way, where you are right now. This is about femininity, but it's also about magic. It's about allowing yourself to open up to the possibility of there being different ways to deal with the world than you thought that there might be. So it's not necessarily just a case of, do I stay with my partner or do I leave and go somewhere else? There often are other opportunities and situations that you can place yourself into that will be compromises to that as well. But let's spend a lot more time here, because this is where the real answers to your questions are, and this is about the next 12 months or so. Now, interestingly enough, you have this stave which is at the top of your future 12 months, and it themes your next 12 months, and this is Heather or Ur. And now that's interesting, because you asked about relationships and where you're going with that, and Heather is all about relationships. More importantly though, Heather is very much about love, and it's about partnership and companionship, and it's devotion, and it's about shared commitment to a relationship. It's about joy, nurturing one another. And this often isn't about, this isn't always about it being with another person. Sometimes it can actually be about you learning to appreciate and love and honour you. And what I'm being told is that your self-confidence has taken a hit in the last 12 months, that you are feeling quite lonely, you are feeling alone, you are feeling empty, depleted, your motivation has gone downhill, you have no impetus to go, your motivation has gone. And what Heather talks about quite strongly is our ability to reconnect with our own inner core, our own essence, our soul, if you will, and use that to learn to love ourselves again. One of the wonderful things about Heather is that it tells us that quite often we think that we need the love of someone else in order to complete who we are. And Heather says that's not the case. When you can love yourself and honour and appreciate and absolutely adore who you are, then you don't need that love from anyone else. And when you don't need love and validation from anyone else, that's often exactly when it walks through the door. So I'm going to pick up on that a little bit more, and I'll talk to you about that as we go through. But I just want to fill in these ones, if I may. This one that's sitting underneath is aspen or iada, and aspen is a tree of fear and doubt and worry and concern, and the year ahead, the 12 months ahead, is actually filled with some massive changes for you, and they will bring concerns and it will bring worries, that's not a surprise to you because there's going to be massive changes, and we'll pick up on that with this one here. Over the top of that is ivy or gort, and I'm really pleased to see ivy there for you. Ivy is about tenacity and about stubbornness and about it's about hanging on. There's actually a relationship between these two, oak or dur, which is here, and ivy or gort. Oak is often about giving and giving and giving and giving. It's about hard work, it's about determination, it's about consistency of hard work. But that's about doing that for someone else quite often. Ivy or gort is about hard work and tenacity and often stubbornness. A lot of people may think that you are stubborn, in fact, but it's about passion and drive, but it's about doing that because you have to. Dur is about doing that because it's innate within your personality or because you choose to. Ivy or gort is about survival. So, while that doesn't sound quite as promising, if you like, or as uplifting, what it does actually tell us though is that the year ahead for you, whilst that might be quite hard work, and you might have to overcome an awful lot of changes, you'll survive and you will do okay. In the short term, you'll be putting on a brave smile. In fact, you've been doing that for a while. You will be putting on a brave smile for people around you, but underneath you're feeling really quite low, close to breaking point. Empty and sad. So we'll talk about that all in the context of all of this shortly. And this stave here is Beth or birch, and it underpins your future, and the underpinning of that is all about new beginnings. It's about new experiences, it's about new ways of seeing the world. It's about taking chances and being in different places and being with different people. So it's about new things in effect. So what have we got when we put all of those things together, when we put these four together in relationship to your question? The first thing is that many people, when they talk to me about their relationship being at its conclusion and should I or should I not leave, many people have already made up their mind about that, and they're just using the reading as a means to confirm what they know they're already going to do. For you, that's not the case. You literally just don't know. And it's not about, you know what you want to do, but you don't know how to do it. And you haven't made the decision about whether you're going to do it or not yet either. So the first thing that's really important for you is to look at what is important to you in terms of a relationship. So I want you to get a pen and paper, if you will. I want you to actually get some paper, and I want you to write on that paper all of the things about a relationship that you think are important. So loyalty, passion, perhaps, you know, sex, stability of finance, friendship, affection, you know, whatever it is that you feel is important to you, and I want you to write that down. And then you are in a much better position to use that list that you've written and then match your current relationship to that list. Does it meet it or not? And if it doesn't, which of those things that you wrote down doesn't match with it? You're then in a better position to sit down with your partner and say, look, I did this. This is what I really want from a relationship. I'd really love to know what you want from a relationship. And I can see here that this is not working for me because this is missing and this is missing and this is missing. Can we do something about that? Put that together. I think that you'll find that your partner is also feeling in a similar kind of way that you are, and that discussion needs to be opened up. And from that point, you'll be in a better place to work out whether you give things a go or not. The Ogham staves are telling me that in actual fact, with opened up communication, such as what I've just talked about, you are in a better position as a couple to give your relationship another go. So the Ogham staves are saying here, the choice is entirely up to you. You can walk away from it right now, but if you do that, you will never know whether you gave it everything that you're capable of giving it, or indeed that your partner is capable of giving it everything that it needs to have to survive. And instead, if you take the tools that are available to you, including from other people's in a professional capacity to help you through, your relationship does have the potential to blossom back into something which is really beautiful. With that said, the Ogham staves are saying you will make one of two choices, one of which is either to give it another go, or you will walk away from it. And either of those choices will come out as okay for you. You just have to make the choice. That's the key issue here, and that's what this is talking about as well. In order to survive, you have to make the choice, because right now you're just existing. You're not even surviving, you're just existing. So in order to begin the experience of life again, you must make the choice. So you either decide, yes, my relationship is worth saving because it's only these couple of things on my list which are missing, or no, it's absolutely kaput, I'm out of here. Now, if you go down the absolutely kaput, I'm out of here, what we know and can see from here financially is that you will survive perfectly well. Things are going to be really difficult for you in the first 6 months, and if you decide to walk out of the relationship without spending some time with your partner discussing how it might have been resurrected, the Ogham staves are clearly showing here that your partner, that the relationship that you have once you leave will go downhill rapidly, and there may be some less than pleasant repercussions, shall we say. So you need to be prepared for that as well. But in terms of finances, the first 6 months after you leave, and it will be you that does that if you choose that decision, rather than your partner leaving, will be quite difficult financially, but there is more help out there than you are willing to see at this point. Remember, we talked about how you're not making any decisions, and you're just existing at this point. Once you make the decision, you'll see that the doors will open and the opportunities will arrive to you to have some form of financial help as you go through. After the 6 month period, finances are going to be fine again. Things will be tight, but they will be okay. It's really, really important though that we revisit again this one, which was Gorse or On, and Gorse is in direct opposition to this one here, and Gorse was theming reading, and it was talking about just living day to day, which is, you know, what I was talking about before, just existing. Whereas Beth says, no, let's not exist, let's kick ass, and let's actually make the decision to have a really, really great life that fulfills who I am, that feeds my soul, and that brings me the emotional support and comfort that I actually need. And whilst this themes your whole reading, this themes your future, as does Heather. So we can see from that 12 months from now you're going to be in a much healthier position emotionally, you're going to be much happier. Whether that is with your partner or without your partner is up to you, because the decision is yours. But please know that whatever your decision is, it will be the right decision, which sounds like a bit of a cop-out. But what I'm saying here is that if you choose to stay with your partner, and you choose to work at that, and you both choose to work at that diligently, your relationship will survive and it will be a fantastic relationship. If, however, you decide that your relationship is no more, that it's not worth saving or working on, and you walk out the door, you must make the decision, by the way, if that is the case, to walk out the door, then also you will survive. And things will be fine. So either way, in 12 months from now, you're going to be in a much better position, both financially and emotionally. Okay, so I also wanted to talk to you about your druidic oracle card animal, and your one that came up was Otter. And Otter is lovely. Otter, or Doberan. I really love Otter. One of my favourite animals. He represents both the emotion. You've got water here. Water is all about feelings, and the safety and the stability and the comfort of home. So Otter goes between both of those things. And this means that Otter is someone who cares an awful lot about others, but is also sensible and dependable and reliable. So we know for you that you're in that position right now of not wanting to make the decision about where you are or what needs to be done, because you really like the comfort and the security and the stability and routine, I guess, for the want of a better phrase. It makes you feel more comfortable, yet you're also very much aware of the emotional cost of doing that. So Otter is asking you just to relax a little bit and take some more me time, and allow yourself to make the decision to move forward, because if you don't make the decision, the status quo will remain, and that's not healthy for you. Otter also says, by not making the decision, you're being selfish to yourself, and you're stopping yourself from being as happy and as creative and as at peace as you deserve to be. And Otter is also someone who says it's time to play, it's time to not be so embroiled in the emotional sadness, and that if you make the decision, you can enjoy the fun times again and the peace and the happiness again. So Otter is a fantastic card, and I really encourage you to pick him up and have a run with him. So I hope that reading was helpful for you, and the key things to take away from that are that you must make a decision, and that regardless of what your decision is, the outcome in 12 months will be that you're in a much happier place than you are right now. So I hope that's helpful to you, NS, and that you and that I get the opportunity to do a reading for you again in the future.